Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. And if you'll indulge me for at least, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours, we will talk your ear off about this week in wrestling. Crown Jewel is looming upon us, and with me is Tyson.
Well, let me talk to you.
And how's your week been?
It's been a pretty good week.
Yeah.
I had something and I already lost it. So, yes, we'll just leave it at that. I had a gripe. Out in the world, something happened, and I was like, "Oh, I got to bring that up." But
What grinds your gears?
I've already forgotten it.
Oh,
I'll write it down next time.
okay. Well, so much for the small talk before the before the meat and potatoes. Like
I know, right? I ruined that.
Yeah, just a bit. All right, so Raw. It started off with a recap of the Judgment Day's victory over the Rhodes and Uso. And then Damian Priest and Finn Balor, they come out. And Balor imitates Priest for the now rise for the Judgment Day and the two-time champions. Priest says that they're back to dripping with gold and running Raw.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah. And on cue, Cody Rhodes interrupts. And he just lost the tag titles last week, but he's compelled to smile and slap hands with the fans. I just thought that was a little cheesy.
Oh, and more importantly, you know what had to still happen?
Of course.
By the way, it's just him, and he's going into the ring with these two guys who just took his title. And he still found to get his woe in.
Yeah.
Wow!
Just a little annoying. So Cody asked Balor and Priest how... Oh, good.
I was like, I don't know. I like the woe.
I like the woe too, but there's a time and a place for it sometimes.
Well, remember that other week he didn't do the woe, but the crowd... Oh, yeah, never mind. They cut off right before the woe.
They pussed out.
Yeah, they should have done it.
They should have committed.
Like, oh, no, you're getting the...
We're getting our goddamn woe, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So Cody asked Balor and Priest how it feels to be interrupted. And Cody says he has some choice words for the Judgment Day's leader, but he can see that she ain't out there. Ooh. He says, I know what you're going to say. There's no leaders in the Judgment Day. But it just can't be Dominic. I think Rhea is your mommy, too. Ooh.
Starting shit.
Then Cody attempts to put a wedge in between Ripley and Priest with like the trust thing, and she's obviously the leader. I forget exactly what he said. It was a couple days ago. Do you know?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay. Cody tells Priest that their issue won't end by Priest punching Cody in the penis because he low-blowed Rhodes in their match. And Priest said Cody failed his story, which everybody has to mention that. Is that a little trite at this point?
He didn't say he failed the story. He said, what is the story?
But he said he failed, or he will fail, or whatever.
Yeah. They're just adding to the story. How about that?
All right.
By the way, Cody has now gone through the adversity, so
he's been through Brock Lesnar was the adversity.
Well, I'm just saying, remember last time I said there's been no struggle. That was the word I used. There's been no struggle. Well, now he's been through the struggle, so.
Oh no, everything thus far has just been a step down.
Well, we don't have to rehash it. It was a year ago.
Brock Lesnar was not a year ago.
No, I'm talking about the whole story thing.
Oh no, I don't care about this thing. I'm talking about ever since the Brock Lesnar feud. everything he's done since has been kind of a step down.
I think everything he's done has just been there. It's just like
Yeah.
they're just getting week to week. Now, remember, I told you they didn't have a plan for him, and it clearly shows.
Yeah. Hashtag no sources.
That's right. Speaking of no sources, since you've already brought that up, I'm tired of these these sources. So the WWE they announced that new pay per view, which we'll get into later, and they're like, as reported by, you know, I forgot who they said, but when are they gonna say as reported by the show podcast? Damn it!
I wouldn't expect that anytime soon.
I do.
I think
I do.
at this point we're just kind of talking to each other.
Just we don't need to talk about this on the air. Go.
To our millions of fans.
Yes, the millions and
All right.
millions.
So yeah, so Priest he brings up Cody's story and how it's not going to turn out so well after their encounter. So Cody, he's so irate, he wants to fight. But Priest says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I have a match tonight, but let's do this at Crown Jewel." So Cody accepts, but then he wants to know what happens now. He goes, "There's two of you. There's one of me. What are we doing?" Like what? I wonder if Dusty. I need to watch more of Dusty. I bet he did do shit like that. Anyway, so Cody suggests that they all fight, of course, and then Priest is all for it. Then Rhea and Dominic come out, but then Jay runs out. He takes out Dominic, and then Cody takes out Balor, and then he gets into it with Priest. So then they fight to the announce table, and they set all that shit up. You know, I have to wipe everything down and take all the things that would hurt you away. And then JD McTurd comes out of nowhere and Flair chops Cody from behind. And then Priest and McTurd assault Rhodes. And then they Pillmanize Cody in the ring steps.
Which was a pretty crazy start to Raw.
A little
I
bit.
was like, oh, they wrote Cody off TV. What was I surprised?
Well, it seems like they're kind of doing the first little angle with Brock. You know how he broke his arm?
Yeah.
Now it's just his leg.
So we can get Super Cody.
I don't know if I think he's now. I think he's well. We'll get to the predictions. We got enough matches. We can do predictions with this one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So Jay, Rhea, and Dominic, you never see them again, which I thought was kind of weird. Jay comes out, he takes out Dominic, and Rhea just stands there, and then they're never seen again. So good for Jay, I guess.
Yep.
So what do you think about Cody and Priest?
I don't know. I think it's just a nothing match.
This pay-per-view is kind of a nothing pay-per-view.
Well, I got some things I'm interested in, but
yeah,
this match in particular was like, it's just there. I don't know. Just it doesn't. Seems like it could just have happened on Monday Night Raw.
It has happened on Monday Night Raw, hasn't it?
I don't know if they've been one-on-one on Raw.
Oh, I bet they have.
Probably.
And they've tagged so much that it's like I'm sure they've had enough one-on-one sequences that could qualify as a full-on singles match.
Probably. But yeah, it's just like, it's more of the stuff here, but maybe there's something bigger at play here because It seems like that's well, I don't know. There's a lot of here or back and forth online of whether or not War Games is happening. Just depends on what day you look.
Oh, I
So
thought it was.
yeah, but now they're saying it might be off.
I thought the flip flopping was gone.
No, no, no. It's still here.
Okay.
I think that was like actually, well, War Games might not happen this year, but it might also happen. I think that's what like one of Meltzer's quotes.
Oh well, shit. Come
And
on.
then that's where I'm blowing my. It's like that's isn't your job to say whether or not it's going to happen. Like that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, why don't you quote a credible source? Ooh, shots fired.
That's right. I don't even know where Meltzer is, but we're
What do
going
you
to beat
mean
that
where he
podcast
is?
too. Like what publication? And I put that in quotes. He's with.
The Wrestling Observer.
Oh, yes, we're going to beat the Wrestling Observer.
Okay.
There. We're gonna be bigger than them. We're gonna be so big. We're gonna be giants. We're gonna be like Andre the Giant.
Not talking like that.
Meltzer beating us. You got no chance in hell.
So you have the Alpha Academy versus the New Day. Because remember, they challenged each other and then had a little dance off last week. And I guess Tozawa's part of the Alpha Academy now.
He's their newest recruit, they say.
Okay, so
Or
he's part
like,
of the Alpha Academy.
well, he's like in train. I don't know, an apprentice or something. I don't know.
He's part of the
He's not.
Alpha Academy.
He's not
He's
officially
he's
in. Hold on,
he's
let me
wear,
tell you.
he's wearing the shirt. He's dressed in pink.
Oh, no, oh, I got you. I got you. He's the JD McDonough of the Alpha Academy.
Does Rhea Ripley come out for JD McTurd's matches?
No, but he does. He comes out for Judgment Day matches.
But the what's her head came out for Tozawa's match.
Because she
Tozawa
said
didn't.
she was in charge of him or whatever, responsible for him.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just telling you what they say on TV. So
All right. Well, the Alpha Academy, they did a Steiner Bulldog. I thought that was cool. Okay. And then Gable, he did a blind tag. Woods didn't see it. So then Woods does like a reverse caterpillar like an idiot. And Gables gets Woods into an ankle lock. So then I skipped to when Woods hit a lame elbow drop for the win. And I don't understand why Woods has to have the pussiest moveset.
I don't know. Because he's a smaller guy. He's not gonna be throwing people around.
Yeah, but he could do something. The backwoods. Come on. This little pussy, because they had a name for it, didn't they? This little elbow.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
Yeah,
Or I forgot what it
stupid.
is called. I think it's like I want to say it's the limit break elbow, I think. It's after a video game, so
Of course.
nothing wrong with that.
Well, if you're gonna name a move after a video game, shouldn't it be an impressive move? I don't know. Whatever.
But he doesn't jump off the turnbuckle, he jumps off the ropes. It's almost like a coast to coast thing.
Maybe. I guess.
I don't know.
I still think it's dumb.
I'm trying to help him out here.
Well, so I'm not sure what they're doing with the Gable now. Like a loss to the Fruit Loop Brigade is like I think that might be too much to overcome at this point.
Yeah, but
They're tag team specialists. That was his thing. I don't want to just be known as a tag team specialist. He went back to the tag team and he can't even beat the New Day.
Well, the New Day just so happens to be the second most decorated tag team in the company.
That's for reasons.
It's because New Day rocks. There, you set that up.
I'll tell you why why they were champions for so long. You got a chair, take a seat. Now, first of all, no. We have Becky Lynch backstage, and I skipped most of it, but we talked about it sort of. Xia Li, I guess, stood in the background with her arms folded.
Yep, another one of those Triple H isms where something's going on in the background of a promo.
Yeah, and I was just excited that I caught one for once, all by myself.
You did.
But I thought it was Jinder Mahal. I got excited. I thought it was Jinder Mahal just standing, letting you know that Indus Share's coming back. They're in the building. Maybe they're gonna jump the Judgment Day or something. That'd be cool.
I know what happened to them. They were back for, or they teased that they were coming back, and then
They
didn't.
had a vignette, and boom, they're gone again. I don't know, but I liked them, so of course they're gone and underutilized them. The shit I don't want to see is repeated over and over and over again. Whatever. Anyway, speaking of stuff I like, Ivar had a vignette. Did you see that?
I did.
So
His
they're
new
committed to this
singles.
yeah. And I feel bad for Eric. He's going to be like the Vinci of the group when he comes back.
Maybe. I think. Yeah, we'll definitely see if it helps the group or not. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, who's that other guy?"
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't know. I thought it was a great
Ivar's,
fucking package though.
yeah, he's now a god. They say.
And that face he made at the end.
Yeah, and then he's got. I was like, "Who the hell's?" I thought it was like a new group debuting because there's all they're showing all the people. Like, who the hell's this guy?
No, as soon as I saw the fire, that's kind of a telltale Viking Raider thing.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what Ivar does now. And now I'm locked in. That was great. So Seth Rollins
Well,
was
see where that
backstage.
goes.
Yep. See how that goes. Seth Rollins was backstage. Rhea Ripley stops him and offers Judgment Day's help against McIntyre. Rollins suggests that Rhea doesn't have faith in Priest because she needs to fraternize with McIntyre. And then Rhea says if Rollins joins the Judgment Day, Priest can cash in on someone else, and they can make everyone acknowledge Rollins. And Rollins says the last thing he wants to do is be like Roman, which tells me a lot about Rollins.
Well, that was another thing that set the internet community ablaze. Oh, they're teasing Rollins versus Roman at Survivor Series.
Oh,
That was
okay.
another thing that was like, oh, that's why they're not doing War Games.
The last thing I read was that Roman's not scheduled for Survivor Series.
I saw that. I was thinking, I mean, surely he'll show up for Survivor Series. But then I was also thinking, I mean, is he really even needed at Survivor Series?
Yeah.
We've already got the match pretty much set if it's going to be War Games. We got Cody Rhodes and the super baby faces, which it also it reminds me, by the way, because we do the retro reviews too. Check those out if you haven't already. Oh no, I'm not gonna shoot my wad yet because we haven't done the things yet, so we'll get there later. But as watching the retro reviews, we had the war games, and then they had like Hogan and Savage and Sting. It's like, gee, I wonder who's gonna win this one. Like, you got the most over people in the company on one team. And it's just like this. You got Cody, you got Jay, you got LA Knight. Gee, I wonder. Like, the most over people in the companies, they're not gonna lose.
I don't know. It depends. If they have something bigger planned for that, like if somebody turns on somebody.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna turn though. There's a lot of rumors that Randy Orton is going to be in that team,
That would be fun.
which,
Oh, in the team.
yeah, he's going to be on the Cody team because I think you got five on the Judgment Day side because you got Priest, you got Balor, you got more than five. You got Dom, you got Jimmy, you got Solo, and then there's even JD McDonough. Oh no, I said his real name. Uh, JD McDonough. So you got him too. So that's six. So then to balance out the Cody side, if you add Randy Orton, it'd be 5v5. So you add Randy Orton on one side, and then that gives you your 5v5. That's the plan. I don't necessarily agree with it because number one, I don't think Randy Orton needs to be in more games. Actually, just coming back from an injury, probably shouldn't be in more games. And number two, I don't even know if Randy is coming back as a face. He might be coming back as a heel. So to circle it back to your point, you put him in war games, he's on the babyface side, and then he turns heel during war games. And now you got Judgment Day side winning.
Yeah, I can see that. Because obviously the turn would have to cost them the match, or the turn wouldn't mean anything,
Right.
or I guess as much. And then
But
that would set up Cody and Randy. Cody comes back and I've been gone for so long, and you think you run this place now? I taught you everything you know, kid.
I know it's a callback to their legacy days, which I was a
Exactly.
fan of. Big fan of that group.
And
Even with Ted DiBiase Jr.
yeah, I come from money. I come from stupid little theme song and a stupid little mustache.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was a good group.
It was all right, yeah. But more importantly, if he does feud with Randy, that goes into his story. Yeah.
There you go. But see, now there's also rumors that Randy is going to be the main event with Roman at Royal Rumble. So,
You can do
I
that
mean,
too,
he
I
would
guess.
have to be a babyface to do that. Interesting to see where we're going. Like, okay, forget about Crown Jewel. Just get it out the way. Survivor Series. This is really going to tell us where we're going WrestleMania wise.
Wouldn't Royal Rumble?
Yeah, but Survivor Series leads into what's going to happen at Royal Rumble because we're not going to have a pay per view in December. So far, we don't.
Yeah, but we still need to know who wins the Royal Rumble.
True.
Because, like,
But you need to already be building that person. You can't just start and I mean, right now it's Gunther. That's the answer.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Like, I don't. There's no one else that's been built, positioned to win the Royal Rumble. And when's Priest going to cash in? We need to get that out the way because we're almost now back at Money in the Bank. Yeah, it's July, but you get right through WrestleMania season.
I don't know. He said he was going to cash in at Fastlane, and he never he never showed up. So
Yeah, he's
I
looking to get this
he
done
yeah, I think he might do it. No, I don't. I don't want to keep saying he'll cash in every time
every pay
Rollins
per
has a
view.
match. Yeah, I don't know. I would suspect eventually,
Yeah, he only has a couple more months.
but then they got to
I
figure
mean,
out.
July is the time he has to cash it in, so it's a little bit more than a couple months, but you get it.
Well, then they got to figure out who's got to challenge Priest.
Oh, speaking of which, there's this little theory going around, and not Austin theory, just a regular theory, or it's going around on the internet. So somehow, and this would have to happen this week, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest is going to turn into a match for the briefcase. Cody's going to win the briefcase, and then that gets him to Roman. That's the theory going around.
Okay, I mean, I don't. That's too contrived.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him win the Royal Rumble again or something.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. He's already won the Royal Rumble and he came out last. What are you going to come out first now? Run the gambit?
Why not?
I don't know.
or or how about this? He just comes out at like 12 or 11.
And then starts talking about he outlasted 29 other men.
Yep.
Bitch, you came out last.
He was still the last man standing out of 29.
It sounds like a pretty deadly thing. Oh, we lasted out 5 other teams in the or in the gauntlet. You came out last. And then Wade Barrett, don't you know if you eliminate the team, you absorb all their stats? That's what Barrett was saying. So maybe that's what Cody, since he eliminated someone, he absorbed the stats of everybody combined.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. Time to start thinking about those things. You know, last year we got a lot of our traction off of my Roman prediction, so I got to come up with a new one. I'm just thinking about the content, man.
Well, I didn't get any traction on any of my predictions, so we're done. You don't get to hear any of my wisdom.
No more. No more.
You're cut out. It's done. Don't try to change my mind. Don't you try to change my mind. All right, so I have 3 chicks were backstage.
That was I don't remember.
Okay. And then Becky Lynch had a match.
She did. And it was versus man, I'm really dropping Indy Hartwell. There we go. It was against Indy Hartwell. She beat Indy Hartwell.
Okay. Is that it?
That was pretty much it. And then Xia Li attacked Candice LeRae, and that's already been set up for next week. Xia Li versus Candice LeRae.
Should we talk about this Xia Li?
What about it?
Well,
She's an idiot.
she's not putting on her best look, right? So like the past 2 weeks she kind of challenged Becky Lynch, but then she pushed out, or she's like, oh, it's my time. On my time I'll do it. Awful Chinese impression. Sorry, Chinese people. And then she stands menacingly in the back of a Becky Lynch promo. And then she attacks somebody else. And then on top of that, didn't Becky lose the title?
Becky lost the title.
So how stupid does she look? Oh, that's going to be on my time. Well, your fucking time just ran out, didn't it? You fucking missed the bus, stupid.
Yeah, not her best look there. She was making all that fuss about not getting a title match, and then she waited too long.
Yeah.
And now
And the
she's
thing
not going
is,
to get one.
it'd be one thing if Becky was dodging her or something. But Becky's like, oh, I'm a fighting champion. If I'm going to screw up a Chinese accent, I might as well screw up an Irish accent.
There you go. Get them all.
Get them all. I don't know. She's just stupid. And it doesn't make me want to see her at all. Like, what is the natural conclusion of the Xia Li thing? She's going to lose. We're going to see the reign of Xia Li. Are they going to build up Xia Li to be a monster? She can't even fucking pick her spot.
That's true. She could be a monster, though.
She could be, but she's done now.
She's knocked out so many women with that roundhouse kick. Like, legit knocked out. Which is weird.
You know who she didn't knock out?
Becky Lynch.
Exactly. And she could have.
Yeah. And now she's missed the boat. And also she's a SmackDown superstar, but we're just going to forget about that part. We're not even going to go there.
They don't care. Shit, the GMs don't even stay on their own shows.
Well, it's healthy competition. Speaking of the GMs, they were next up, right?
Yeah. Good segue. Adam Pearce, he's telling security to make sure that they have their shit together for a contract signing later. That'll be fun. And then Nick Aldis comes in. He says he and Pearce got off on the wrong foot last week, and it's his fault. He said kicking Pearce out of the building was a bridge too far, and he shouldn't have happened. And he's a real cunt. So Nick says it was merely trying to establish authority on his show. And he maintains that he wants healthy competition between Raw and SmackDown, but he, doesn't want to be an asshole about it. So Pearce accepts Aldis's apology. Bygones are bygones. And then Pearce says, since you had me thrown out last week, why don't you stay and watch how the real show operates? And then they shake hands and butt fuck. I assume. We had a lady contract signing. There was a brawl. That's all I got. I don't care.
It's just your run-of-the-mill. I'm gonna win. Nia Jax talked about squashing everybody, and then
I did hear about that. You just want to be squashed. You just want me to squash everybody for you. Does she have to use the word squash?
I guess
It's like she's trolling. She's trolling me with that.
Yeah, I mean the crowd was big over for Rhea, so there's that.
Of course,
because she's chanting for Rhea, and then her music hits. There's a big pop, and then she's slowly turning into a babyface, whether she wants to or not. But yes,
Still
there's going to be the match, and they brawled, and things happened.
Cool. Well, Imperium was backstage without Gunther. And Vinci's warming up while Kaiser's in his ear telling him not to fuck up tonight. Then Bronson Reed comes in to tell Kaiser that Gunther gave him one hell of a fight. And if he wants to go for round 2, tell your boss to let me know. And Kaiser says, tell him yourself. And then he walks away with Vinci. And then Tozawa comes in and he challenges Bronson Reed to a match. Now, Akira Tozawa, the guy that lost to Rhea Ripley, walks up to Bronson Reed and challenges him to a match.
Yep.
So Reed says he's feeling merciful tonight, so no. Tozawa gives him a little pussy chop and demands a match. Reed then says it's your funeral. And then the Alpha Academy chick comes in to yell at Tozawa. And it all makes sense to me now. Tozawa's doing this for pussy.
Was he going to steal it from Otis?
If he thinks he can beat Bronson Reed, he might be delusional. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing it for pussy. He wants to. He might not even want to date her. He just might want to fuck her.
Well, I'm saying Otis is in the way.
Whatever.
Otis got that locked down.
Yeah, but he's going to do that sad puppy thing. He'll steal her from Otis.
I don't know. I don't see. I don't see Tozawa having that kind of game.
He has the quiet game. Remember when everybody was, ooh, look at him just bouncing to the left and to the right with those weights slightly bent.
Yeah. He's nasty.
Yeah.
They're trying to get that over, by the way.
His little lean thing.
Yeah. With the Tozawa, you nasty. Because they did it again this week.
I guess I missed that.
Yeah, they did it again this week. Don't worry, I'll fill you in when it happens.
All right. Well, Vinci Gargano had a match. Ciampa attacked Kaiser. Vinci gets hit by a Gargano DDT for the loss. And then Vinci had the same look Miss Elizabeth had when Macho Man lost to Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. That abused domestic housewife look.
And we can only pull that reference because we just watched it.
I know, right? Very timely.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting to see what's going to happen to Vinci and Kaiser because he was responsible.
Well, there was an interference, so I guess there's that enough. There's that much of it.
Do you think the Ring General gives a shit about excuses like that?
He could.
I
mean, we had him, but there was the interference.
We're talking to him about a man who beat Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in the same night. Not to mention the little Donnybrook match he had with Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes.
True. I'm just saying they have an out.
I don't think Gunther's going to give a shit. He said, you should have beat them two midgets.
Hey, we're in modern time. You can't say it now.
Oh.
That was only in reference to that time.
Oh.
Although it seems like we're about to get canceled again this week.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. So we get a Shinsuke Nakamura video package. Shinsuke says a beating from him is a beautiful thing. Ricochet put up a fight, but he's done wrestling jobbers. Shinsuke says he wants to find an opponent that will bring his true self out. And who will that be? Who will it be? Believe it or not, it's Shinsuke. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, it's not going to be
I'm
Seth
intrigued,
Rollins.
though. But if it's like something stupid like Rey Mysterio, I'll be a little disappointed. I mean,
Well,
obviously, he
like,
can't.
who needs a feud right now? Like that doesn't have one.
Well, he
And
can't
it's
go
like,
after Rollins, obviously. Who are the baby faces on Raw? Would be
oh,
you
maybe it'd
think
be Jey
Cody?
Uso.
Oh, yeah.
Like he needs something.
Okay.
Sami Zayn, he could also
Oh,
he needs something.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sammy and Shinsuke wrestle again. That'd be pretty tight.
Yeah, that would be good TV and a good match.
Yeah,
Be like a takeover
right.
special.
Especially if they have more than one match.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Looking forward to that. Logan Paul.
Yes, a Logan Paul segment. This segment, uh, not really much happened. So we have Dom. He comes out there, and Logan Paul. He's talking about how he's gonna beat Ray, and how Ray's a deadbeat dad, and they linked himself to Dominic Mysterio's. Like we're just alike. We've overcome a lot, like deadbeat dads and this, that, and the other. Dom, he tries to talk. The Now this time it was a little bit piped in, as we'll say, or it didn't seem as natural as it did a few weeks ago. Maybe they just need to help. So whatever. We're past the mic thing. All right, Dominic gets heat. We'll just live with it. So he tries to do his talk thing. He can't speak. Finally, we get around to Logan Paul. He said, at the end of Crown Jewel, my favorite ring announcer, Samantha Irvin, is going to announce your winner and new United States championship or United States champion. And he says, "Hey, speaking of which, Samantha, why don't you come in the ring and we'll give these people a preview?" Samantha's like, I'm not getting in the ring." And Logan Paul, after some convincing, and Dom, "Come on, just get in the ring." Logan Paul says, "No, for real, I want to give you your flowers. Let's get in the ring." And he talks about how good of a ring announcer she is. And then he says, "Okay, now that you're here, just give the people a preview. Just say, your winner and new." And then they keep doing that. And new. Come on, just say it. And new. Finally, in comes Ricochet, because that's his fiance. And he attacks Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio. Uh, Now, this guy,
Why did he attack?
why did he attack?
Yeah.
Because they
Did
were
he
harassing
did
his fiance.
by asking him to say her by asking her to say his name?
Yeah.
How's okay?
I don't know. He just got fed up.
So
Like,
by that logic, it's okay to leap to assault.
yeah, she was uncomfortable and he came to her defense.
Was she crying? Did she say stop it? Did she say no?
She did say no. She said, "I'm not doing it."
And he kept doing it?
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
he wasn't like cornering her or anything. He was like standing off. So it wasn't like
God.
he wasn't intimidating her or
See,
anything.
I wish they would. Why would that would make more sense? Have him like fucking corner her.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever watch It's Always Sunny?
Uh, no. I've watched some
Then
episodes.
never mind.
I mean, I've seen bits and
I'll
pieces.
edit this out.
I've
Never
seen
mind.
them do. It's a good show.
It
I
is.
just, it's, uh, I need to see it from like episode one, and I can't do that because like the syndication is just like they're just bebopping and scatting all over the seasons and the episodes. I want to watch it in order, so that's why I haven't watched it yet. But
You don't. Why do you want to watch it in order?
what do you mean? That's how you watch anything in order.
Okay.
They make references to other episodes in the episodes, so you got to watch the other episodes.
Yeah, but nothing. Okay.
But I will say the episodes I did watch were pretty funny. And the anyway, that's another.
Yeah.
It's gonna get canceled right there.
Are we done
The
with Logan?
oh no.
Damn.
So I was just gonna say. So here's Ricochet. He's defending his fiance, and he's still flipping and flopping. Like
Of
if you're
course.
really defending your fiance, you're not gonna be flipping and flopping. But he did, and he backed them off, and then he kissed his fiance on screen,
Or
which was
maybe you could have
another
said.
thing that they circled around on the media.
Maybe you gotta come in and be like, whoa, whoa, bro. Whoa, bro. You talking to my girl? With his chest out, his chin up, bro. And then it could have escalated to fisticuffs. I just think, I don't know. I just think, excuse me. I just think it's a bit extreme to just launch into a full on assault. Just because some dude's asking your girlfriend to say that he won a match that never happened yet.
That's true. Now, if he wins the match, then she's gonna have to do it anyway.
Right. Again.
Um, Now they may have been teasing because I kind of see that maybe they're setting up Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio versus Ricochet and Rey Mysterio at some point. Obviously not at Crown Jewel, maybe at Survivor Series. Um, it seems like they're just setting something like that up, or they're gonna do Ricochet versus Dom for his title, and then he's gonna win the North American title. I don't know, but I did tell you. Obviously, there's a Ricochet push to come in because he's a Triple H guy. So maybe that's how they get a title on him because there's no other title he could really have.
Whatever. I'm kind of over Dom right now. So they can both go into obscurity as far as I'm concerned.
So yeah, there's basically we're just going backwards. It seems, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's really all.
All right. We have Piggy and Chelsea versus Natalia and someone. And turns out that someone was Nikki Cross. She was only out there for 3 minutes before going to the back. She was in a zombie like trance the whole time. I am so interested to see the conclusion of the Nikki Cross angle. Barrett said it was the worst tag partner in history. Naturally, Piggy and Chelsea won.
She was the worst partner in history. She she went out there all slow. She wasn't interested in the match. She never touched the tag rope, which is important.
And that's the second consecutive tag match she's been in where she's just been a shitty tag partner.
Yeah. And then yeah, she just walks off all casual in the middle of the match. What is going on in that head of hers? Tune in next week to find out, maybe.
What is going on in Natalia's head?
I don't know, silicone. Her bazookas
Okay.
clouding her judgment. She gave her glasses, so she didn't drop the glasses thing, even though she got sexually assaulted by that kid last week.
All right.
But she's still doing that shtick. She gave it to a little girl. The girl was in the front row this time, so maybe they made that adjustment. Oh, make sure she's in the front row so you don't have to reach over a kid who will motorboat you and then grab you. That kid's lucky. Anyway, go ahead.
I have noticed that Becky Lynch hasn't really gone into the stands anymore since that one fan tried to put his arm around her.
She's learned her lesson.
Yeah.
You keep putting these women out there and these crazies. They're
Yeah.
gonna get snatched up one day.
You do know that there's dudes drinking alcohol in there, right?
I know. So someone's gonna go right in. Security's gonna, yeah, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Right. We had Jey Uso backstage. Drew McIntyre comes in to say he can't possibly imagine how it feels to have the Bloodline cost him a championship. And then McIntyre says, "Get over it. Whatever happens to Sammy tonight is on you. Because you came to Raw." Raw. Raw.
There you
Ah.
go.
So there was that. So when they wrestled already, right?
Yeah, they wrestled. Was it last week or the week before? Something like that.
Yeah, McIntyre won. So okay. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre was next, and McIntyre won with a Claymore. Ripley distracted Zayn with her music playing in the middle of the match. The McIntyre walks past Ripley without looking, and she just smiles. And to me, at some point, she's going to start looking really stupid when all these people keep rejecting her. She's going to be looking like a desperate whore. Please, please let me suck your dick. Please.
Well, I don't think she'd have to do that. Like, I don't think she's gonna have trouble finding a dick to suck.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that she's gonna have trouble to find a literal dick to suck. However, metaphorically, she's gonna.
The metaphorical dick is gonna be
The
hard
metaphorical dick is gonna be bone dry.
to find. Gonna be limp as like wet pasta.
Yes. It's gonna be like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
So there's that. I don't know. That's just my thought. She keeps going to to Rollins and McIntyre, and they're telling her no. And I'm sure their match, there's going to be some sort of angle where they're is one of them really with the Judgment Day? But this whole thing, or this whole time, they're both rejecting Rhea. So there's nothing. There's not really any suspense as to who's in
Right.
cahoots with who.
Yeah, these are two people that are clearly not joining the Judgment Day. Although McIntyre will be turning heel. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he turns heel.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But, well, after that, we have Nick Aldis backstage. And Pierce is pissed at Nick Aldis because he's talking to his talent. And Aldis says, "Yeah, I can see where this is going, so I'll just leave." And then Nikki Cross makes an appearance, and she just stumbles across the camera view. And I was thinking that if I was one of the people that just got released and I saw Nikki Cross on my fucking television set, I would be so pissed. That's just me.
She's harmless enough.
She's useless.
I don't know. You don't know where she's going with this.
She ain't going nowhere interesting. I think we know what Nikki Cross is at this point.
She adds character to the division.
What character?
I don't know. I don't know. She's crazy. Unpredictable. She's a loose cannon, huh?
Bronson Reed versus Akira Tozawa. Tozawa comes out with the Alpha. Tozawa comes out with the Alpha Academy chick. Again, making it clear that it's only for pussy to me. Reed, of course, wins with Tsunami. Wade Barrett busted a big nut.
Boy, did he hit it, though.
He sure did.
And I'm talking about Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
Tsunami!
Yeah, it was yeah.
He probably needed a cigarette after.
I I would only imagine. Probably a cigar or shit.
And a nap.
But yeah, I don't understand that. But whatever.
It was just your run of the mill. I couldn't call it a squash match because Tozawa got too much offense, but
Right.
just your run of the mill showcase for Bronson Reed.
But why would Tozawa challenge somebody he's clearly not going to win? Whatever. I don't
Because
care.
he misunderstood the lesson. That's why.
Okay. So McIntyre and Rollins are backstage, and they both say they don't need the Judgment Day. And that brings us to Jey Uso versus Damian Priest.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
No, there it is. Now we got their. Speaking of Tozawa, we got a segment. So you got Tozawa and the Alpha Academy and the New Day. They're backstage. And it was one of those, they were in the tag team locker room and they're just shooting the shit. And then you got Tozawa. He's got the bags of ice, and everybody's asking if he's okay. And then we get the dance off segment again, where New Day starts dancing, and then this time, I don't know why I wanted, I don't know why I want to say it, but I do. This time, Tozawa he takes the bags of ice, the little bags of ice that are helping him heal, and then he starts moving them up and down, shaking back and forth, doing the same move he was doing with the 2 pound weights. And then everyone was like, ah, get it, get it. And then finally, they were like, Tozawa, you nasty. I don't know. And it's the face that he makes because he got that serious face and he's shaking back and forth with the. I don't know. Gotta love Tozawa.
I guess.
I don't know. I think he's obviously a comedy character, and every time he does something, he's got these little comedy segments, and they're funny. Like that, he's got the little walk into frame, see someone, and then just turn around and walk back out of frame.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, he's not for me.
There you go.
Jey Uso, Damian Priest. So Jay hits a splash, but Balor distracts the referee, disrupting the pin. Jay goes after Balor, but he gets crotched when he gets back in the ring to go back after Priest. Priest hits the South of Heaven for the win. And then Balor hits a stomp on Jay post-match. Priest tells Balor to get some chairs. Cody Rhodes hobbles out before they can do the same thing to Jay that they did to Cody earlier in the evening. And then Cody takes out 2 men with chairs.
On one good leg.
Yes.
So there's Super Cody.
Super Cody. And Priest gets the worst of it. Of course, since, they have a match. And then Cody actually goes to Pillmanize Priest, but Balor saves him.
Yeah.
Which that was very un-babyface like. So that I wonder if the match they have is going to be like a no disqualification or some shit.
Yeah, they could do that to add something to it.
Yeah. But that was Raw.
And before we go off the air, of course, the crowd found a way to get one more woe in.
How's that?
Oh, as we're going off the air, they got the Cody theme plays
Oh, yeah,
in
I
the
got
night,
you.
and then they do the woe before we go off the TV.
Yeah.
Like before we fade to black, we got to get that one more woe in. But yeah, that
That
was
was Raw.
your
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. And on that note, before we get into SmackDown, let me talk to you. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. So if you can be so kind as to push that button, the subscribe button that is. Also, leave a like on the video so it can be pushed out to more people. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. We're now back on Twitch. We're on Spotify. Anywhere you want to follow us, you can. And that's about it. We're just getting started, everybody. So don't worry about it. We ain't going nowhere. Oh, I got to put a deadline on it. We're trying to get to the 500 by the end of the year. We'll just say that. And if we can, it'll be up to you guys to get us there. So don't let us down.
Do not fail us.
Now we can get to SmackDown. SmackDown.
All right, Roman Reigns and LA Knight had a contract signing. And Roman's music, of course, starts off the evening. And as soon as Roman Reigns does his little first title raise, the music changes. And out comes LA Knight. And he walks past Roman and Heyman without so much as a glance.
A good callback to Brock Lesnar walking past The Rock.
Yeah. I thought The Rock did it. Because I had this whole thing. Like, why are they, if there's so many comparisons with him and The Rock, why are they having him do The Rock shit? But no, The Rock was just involved.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar walked past The Rock.
But yeah, I liked it. I loved how it kind of threw Roman off. You can kind of see he was a little rattled. Like, who the fuck does this motherfucker think he is?
Yeah.
And it kind of sets the tone with at least LA Knight thinks he's a big deal.
I'm starting to get a feeling. We'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
The what if started to creep in. Or is it actually about to happen? It's starting to creep in. Are the stars aligning at just the right moment? And I can tell you why. We'll get into it in a second here.
Okay. So they get in the ring and Heyman moves Knight's chair to the head of the table. So naturally Knight sits in it. Like, I don't know. They did this whole thing. I don't understand. If Heyman would have pulled the other chair down, then he would have had a bitch. But he clearly moved Knight's chair.
Well, at this point, Knight was already doing everything he can to piss off Roman.
True. He was asking for it. So Heyman tries to protest, and then he starts to actually move the table, the head of the table to Roman. And the Knight says, Heyman, I know you're not trying to move this table. And he asks Roman if he's going to take all night because he ain't got time. Sign this deal and then sign your title away. The Knight signs the contract. He turns it over to Roman and says, there you go, Chief. And Heyman takes the pen Knight used and throws it back in his face. And he pulls out his own pen.
Which would have been a lot more effective.
How's that?
If his pen worked.
Oh, you blew up my spot.
Sorry.
But I love how he kind of did like a little sissy throw.
Yeah, that's Paul Heyman for you.
So Roman calls Knight an idiot, and he says he doesn't know what he's getting himself into because he's never been through a contract signing and he's never been through a title match. Then Roman says, don't worry, your tribal chief will go real easy on you, sweetheart. Then Roman goes to sign the contract and his pen fails. Then he tears Heyman a new asshole. He's like, "This doesn't work!" And for some reason, that just made me giggle. Doesn't work! And Heyman says, "I'm sorry, my tribal chief." So Roman signs the contract with a functional pin. And Nick Aldis, yeah, he's standing there. Forgot to say that. He wishes both gentlemen good luck and leaves. Then Roman goes to do the same, but LA Knight stops him. Knight says, "I'm head of the table now, so acknowledge me." And for once, Roman's smile cracks. And Knight says, if Roman's going to underestimate him because this is his first rodeo, then he's already beat. This is my first time, but I only need one time. And while you were too busy doing suffering succotash, I've been out here telling everybody whose game this is. Because there can be only one WWE champ. And only one me. It's coming up soon, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's not an insult, that's a fact of life. Knight says he can't stop. And then he gets the crowd to chant his name. Now, at this point, the crowd has been chanting LA Knight. They've been booing Roman. They've been chanting "You suck." They've been saying Roman's scared. Yeah, they've been very loud and very anti-Roman and very pro LA Knight. So at this point, when he gets the crowd to chant his name, Roman just flips the table right in his face. And he starts beating the ever-living shit out of him. And then Roman grabs a table from under the ring. And then he takes an unnecessary amount of time setting this table up and then removing things that could cause additional harm to LA Knight away from the table. Knight, of course, he recovers when Roman goes to snatch him. And then he starts kicking Roman's ass. And then Jimmy Uso comes out and he gets put through the table for his troubles. And I thought that was probably the most exciting contract signing I've seen in a while. I especially liked how they did the whole thing with Knight interrupting Roman.
Yeah, it was well done. I like the interrupting. I like the him sitting at the head because that's what Roman does. Him telling now, there's a little flaw in his little promo though. You know, he said Roman while he was doing suffering succotash of it only took me 1 year to get to this moment. Now you don't know what hit you. Well, are we just erasing the Max Dupree part of the story out of this?
Obviously.
Like we're just glossing over that. That didn't happen.
Clearly.
So yeah, that was a little flaw there, but that's just a little thing.
I don't know. I thought the head of the table thing would have worked better if he stole Roman's chair.
Well, no, to be honest, I didn't even see the chair part. I just saw him sit at the head of the table, so
Yeah.
I missed that small detail. But
so you know how the table is facing vertically from the camera?
yeah,
The chairs on either side. Heyman goes to the right of the table where LA Knight's standing, takes his chair, puts it at the head of the table. So Roman's standing with his chair and then LA Knight's chair at the head of the table. So obviously LA Knight is going to sit in his chair.
that's what I'm saying. I didn't pay that close attention to that part.
I did. That just bugged the shit out of me. Maybe I'm focusing on it too much.
But it does bring me to the point what I was going to say. So there's these reports, and I don't know if they're true or not, but the reports will tell you that Roman Reigns may be missing Survivor Series. We've already touched on that. And I said, maybe he's not even needed for Survivor Series if they're doing War Games. Probably not needed. But did get me to thinking. Are they? They could shock the world here and have LA Knight beat Roman in Saudi, and then he's your new champion. And then Roman can take Survivor Series off because now he's really not needed. Now, what that does to Cody's story, that's another thing. But I'm just saying it could happen. It might
Good.
happen.
I don't want to
I
say
got
too
the
much.
vision.
I don't want to give away my prediction.
No, well, I got the vision. That's, or the kernel of thought. Like this could actually happen,
Okay.
especially with the news of him not showing up at Survivor Series. Like if they had known that already, maybe then maybe they take the title. Like, okay, if you're gonna keep missing, we got to take the title off of you now. Like, this is getting ridiculous. That's what they're saying. I don't think that. I think he's not needed for Survivor Series. He doesn't need to just be there to be there.
Well, I think they're stupid enough to let him work X amount of dates, and that's their fault.
Eh. But what I am saying is, you miss Survivor Series, and then we don't have a pay per view in December, so you really not needed there. Everybody takes their little vacation, and then we get to SummerSlam, or I'm sorry, we get to Royal Rumble. Now you're needed. Now you're needed for the WrestleMania grind. So if he does miss Survivor Series, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but that could also lead to him losing the title. So
Okay.
just wanted to point out that I did have a thought.
Clearly. Well, Carlito and Santos Escobar had a match with the Street Profits. And the Street Profits had probably the best new music debut I've ever seen in my life. And the Solo Cups appear to finally be dead and buried. Finally.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch because this portion I didn't get to hear with sound, so I didn't hear the music.
Oh, dude.
So I have to go back and listen to the new music.
Bobby Lashley came out and has his little drums, his dun, 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 that thing.
Yeah.
So that it started. So dun, 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 and then the beat just started kind of changing a little bit. And I'm like, oh shit. And then like some DMX sounding music started playing.
Okay.
In fact, pause the show right now. We'll listen to it.
I'll listen to it later.
But no, it's really good.
They're starting to get on an upswing on music. That's good.
Yeah.
Now we just got to change Johnny Gargano's, Carlitos. There's probably more, but
Maybe he
those two
can.
just come off the top of my head.
Maybe Impact will use that.
By the way, they are back to TNA. So
They
it's
are.
funny you brought that up. Maybe you did that on purpose.
No, I didn't. But nice way to capitalize.
Yes, TNA Impact is back. And my level of care didn't change a bit.
Yeah, I can't imagine too many people like, oh man, TNA's back. Now I'll watch.
Surprisingly, that is the sentiment going around.
They think the nostalgia will get them.
Yeah, TNA was such a big moment. Like I mean, I never watched TNA, so, but I know of stuff like the main event Mafia. Outside looking in, that did look like a very impressive thing. They all looked old as hell. Uh, the only thing I was asking is, are they bringing back the stupid six-sided ring? Because I really am not interested now.
Why
But
not?
apparently, they're not bringing back the six-sided ring.
I think I'm in the minority on liking that, or at least being interested enough in watching it.
It was just too awkward for me.
Why?
I don't know. I just like a clean four-sided ring. There's too much going on with that six side. They never really had like. Now again, I wasn't sitting down watching weekly TNA, but from when I saw it, they never really had like just a one-on-one match. It was always something. It's always a stipulation of some sort and multiple people.
I don't know. I never really watched it myself. Just clips. But I thought the 6-sided ring was kind of neat. It was different.
It was different. But apparently that's not coming back, just the name change. And then Impact is the name of the show now.
So it's TNA Impact. TNA Impact.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to WWE SmackDown.
Back to a real show.
Rey Mysterio, he's watching the match in the back. Logan Paul, he attacks Rey from behind. And of course, Escobar and Carlito, they see it on the little Titantron. And Escobar tells Carlito to help Rey because he's got this. And so the Street Profits, they use their Revelation finisher on Escobar for the win.
Another strike against Rey Mysterio, screwing over Santos Escobar.
Really?
Yes. How many times is he going to screw this guy over? And then everybody's saying, oh, Santos is turning heel. No, Rey's turning heel here. He keeps screwing over this guy. It's like a battered stepchild.
I don't think anybody's turning heel.
I think,
At least not yet.
well, not yet, but I'm just saying everything that's happening, you can put on Rey. He's doing this to Santos. Even though getting attacked wasn't really his fault.
Right.
It was his fault, so he should have been at ringside. And where was the other LWO?
They were still selling the attack from last week.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough.
So after that, Roman's backstage, and he's putting his man bun back together. And Heyman says he's going to give Naito a Green Bay Packers WWE custom title. Because it's the closest either will get to being champions. Doesn't Green Bay have like a lot of championships? Don't they have like 4 or something?
Yeah, they are title town, but they sucked this year. That was the dig.
Okay. I get that, but
Because I told you Jordan Love was not the guy. Now everybody's seeing.
they were
I didn't say anything for the first couple weeks because he was doing okay, but now,
yeah, they were sucking his dick hard.
You know, when Jordan Love be good, I don't say anything, but when he's bad, I'll be talking again. A little bit of Smokey.
Yeah, I got it.
But they're really showing out those titles, I tell you. I want the Cowboys one. Now, I don't know how we're going to get there. Well, when we get to 500 subscribers, you guys can super chat and enough for me to get that Cowboys title. It'll be a community thing. We'll put that as like, you know how some streamers they have like the donation goal little thing. It's like, and it's like stream upgrades and useful stuff. Well, mine will be Tyson gets the $600 Cowboys title with your donation. You get there's no benefit out of it from you, only me.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works. I might as well say I'm rooting for a big screen. So, custom Cowboys big screen. Let's make that happen.
Yes. But that's when we get to 500, so we got a little bit of
course. Yeah, well, we sure do. So Jimmy Uso comes in and he's still hurt from getting put through a table earlier, and he collapses on the couch. And Roman tells Jimmy if he doesn't handle LA Knight tonight, it's all over. Jimmy says that he's on injured reserve and he can't do anything. And Roman's like, "What?" Jimmy says, "I'm off injured reserve and I can do something." So Roman tells Heyman to make the match happen. And then Jimmy says, "Yeet." And then Roman says, "I thought I told you. I don't like that."
I don't know. I'm liking their dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jimmy, him in this like non-serious role, I'm liking it.
Okay.
And then there was two things. So of course the WWE social media team, they put out the little short of Jimmy falling on the couch talking to Roman about I'm on injured reserve, and then it's like, I'm not on injured reserve. and I don't know if this was on purpose, and if it was, like, you just can't say enough about Paul Heyman. So Jimmy flops on the couch, and they're doing a short, so to the aspect ratio is like a vertical video. And as he's laying on the couch, slowly the Green Bay Packers title slips in the frame.
Uh-huh.
It's like he couldn't have known that this was going to be a clip and then put the title in frame like that. But that's how it happened. Like, it shows him just like scooting it over into frame. And then like it just like slowly creeps in the frame, and then it's right there in frame for the whole segment. It's just I mean, if he thought about that, then good for him.
Right. Well, you have to be a salesman. I can see that.
Yeah.
So Logan Paul was backstage and he ran into Kevin Owens and he said his shirt's whack. Then Waller and Theory, they run into Kevin Owens and they start talking shit. Then Owens bets that he can bunch both of them at once. So everybody starts arguing. And then officials separate Waller, Theory, and Owens. Owens says to Jamie Noble, "Do you think I can punch both of them in the face at the same time, right?" And Noble says, yeah, you can do that, definitely. And Theory and Waller, they laugh at how stupid Owens is. And Owens punches Waller and Theory both in the face at the same time. And the man did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, they were making fun of him. It was like, I mean, we'd have to be standing just like this, and then
Right.
boom. And then the best part of it all, he's like, "Hey, Jamie, I did it."
Yeah, it's a little too hokey for me.
Of course. And also, Logan Paul, say what you want about him, he is a mega influencer, right? He does things that influences people to do things.
Yeah, turn
At the baseline.
to a different channel.
Well, at the baseline, he's like the breath of the youngsters. He's got this prime drink, and it's like making billions because he has cultivated this
Ain't making
young
any money in
minds.
Canada.
He's cultivated these young minds, and he has them impressionable, and you can't find. Well, now you can, but you couldn't find prime on. Anyway, where I'm going with all this is he trying to bring whack back? I thought we were done with whack back in the 90s. But you get this mega influencer saying whack, then it's going to start catching on, and then whack is going to come back.
I don't know. I was done with Logan Paul after his trip to Japan.
I don't know what that means, but whack. We're talking about whack. We're not talking about Logan Paul anymore. That was just a setup that
you just said
if he says something, that's going to influence people. So if is he trying to bring back whack?
Well, if people start saying whack, then they're whack. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So Dragon Lee was backstage, and I couldn't understand a word the motherfucker said. And then Cedric Alexander interrupted him, and I wasn't going to watch the match, so I didn't care. And then Shotzi.
Oh. Oh. Golly. I can't even defend it this time. You know, I'm a Shotzi fan, I would say. I try to be good to her, try to give her the benefit of the doubt, try to say, just give her a chance. But I can't do that with this match. This was not good. And I know you're gonna. Maybe you didn't watch it. Maybe
Of
that's the
course I
saving
didn't watch
grace.
it. As soon as
Yes.
I saw that stupid fucking tank, you think
Well,
we'll
good.
waste 1 second on a Shotzi match?
Good. It's best that you didn't watch it because we've had to be here all night to hear you complain about this match. So it's good you didn't watch it. We'll just say uh, the match maybe went 2 minutes and it was 2 minutes too long.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
I felt bad for Chelsea Green because she was trying her damnedest. The crowd didn't care; they're quiet the whole time. Shotzi is.
was she doing her stupid laughs?
It wasn't about that. It was about I don't know. She. It just wasn't working.
What was it? Come on, talk to me. You could tell me.
It wasn't working.
You can
But
you
I'm going to spin it to a positive because again, I feel like I have to be the voice of positivity on the show. So I will say, Shotzi and Scarlett Bordeaux, Scarlett, they do this YouTube show and they got like basically they're ghost hunters.
Oh god.
And I haven't watched any of the episodes, but it seems like it's a good dynamic thing going on there. Why can't we bring that to TV? Let's take Shotzi out the ring. Let's make her a manager, and she can her Scarlett, and then Karrion Cross, and then someone else who's like a spooky character. They can all be like this little faction of spooky, and then or maybe they could be like a new age version of the Flock, and then get like flannel shirts and jorts.
Well, no, they had jeans that they just cut into shorts.
Were they cutoffs? I don't know. We're about to see because I think they're about to be here.
Yeah, oh, I know because I kind of tried to dress like that.
Well, we all had that phase, but yeah, they can be like that or something. I don't know. That's my positive spin on it. But I'm not going to say too much about the match because I can't be positive about it.
The faces that she makes.
She did one more positive thing here. she she did the host of the Halloween Havoc and she dressed up as Pinhead and she
Because
looked
she is
pretty
a pinhead.
she looked pretty good there. So
That's an appropriate little costume, I'd say.
but yeah, that's next segment.
Oh yeah, didn't Chelsea lose the tag champion?
She did.
Shotzi.
Oh, and another thing you got to miss. Piper Niven was wearing a completely see-through shirt for some reason. It was whatever her costume was. She was wearing a see-through shirt to do so. So there you go. I know you love that.
Mm.
And by love that, I mean love to make fun of that. So how dare she have a good body image of herself?
I don't care if she has a good body image of herself. She's still fat. Don't change anything.
That's
And
true.
and I still think it's funny.
That's true.
She can love herself all she wants. God bless her for it. I'm still gonna think she's funny, or it's funny that she's fat, and I'm gonna still call her a piggy.
There you go. Why can't you just call her Big?
Biggie? Because that's
No,
that
Big.
big.
Yeah. I don't know. I was
That doesn't
making a reference to
big
Bronson Reed.
big Niven. I don't like that. So John Cena had an in-ring thingy, and I skipped the part where the alleged Hollywood actor did his little piss poor job of acting emotional and forlorn, and yeah, you guys are gonna lose. I'm gonna lose your respect because I don't ever win. And it was terrible. And then Solo came out, he hit him with a spike. Heyman came out before that to suck his dick a little bit, but tell him to kind of hang it up. Enough's enough.
That was your takeaway from this segment?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I'll
Yeah,
take
go
over
ahead.
here.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So we get John Cena, the greatest of all time, allegedly. And he comes out, he addresses the crowd, and he says that.
Really, you're gonna do the whole thing? You're just not gonna. You made it seem like I missed something.
You didn't fill in the details. You missed the important details of the segment.
Which is the
The
whole
segment
thing.
told the story. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So John Cena, I'm not gonna like go deep. We'll just glance over it a little bit deeper than what you did. So John Cena, he addresses the crowd. He says that they're gonna lose respect for him because
How deep do I need to go? He's losing matches, or he hasn't won a match since what, 2022 or something like that.
I forgot the year.
And he's all like, I haven't won. And you guys might not like me anymore. Even though the whole fucking night they were chanting Cena and how awesome he is. And then as soon as he said that, they said, you still got it. And then he pretended to cry poorly.
He
And
was selling that. I appreciate it because
then
I've been watching a lot of Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan really plays up to the Hulkamaniacs.
yeah.
That's the only way he overcame Andre the Giant was because of the Hulkamaniacs. That's
See,
kind of what John Cena is doing here.
it's funny you say that, but because of John Cena, I appreciate Hulk Hogan less now.
Because they're doing the same shtick almost.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, I don't know, just kind of phony.
Well,
Although Hulk Hogan's a better bullshitter. I can see Cena being a real dick.
I think he's a nice guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. I'm sure he's a sweetheart. But I can also see him being a dick. Just ask Alex Riley.
Oh, he won't hesitate to bury you.
But yeah, so he was pretending to act all sad and.
I thought this was my.
Well, no, you said I missed some shit and like I didn't get it, and then Heyman he comes out and he's like, "Oh, John, you're the greatest of all time, and I wanted my kids to be more like you than me. But then when Roman beat you, that was time to hang it up and just admit that you weren't the greatest of all time anymore, John." And then Solo jumped him.
Well, there's
So that's
more
the
to what
story.
Heyman said.
That's the story. John Cena, he's losing. He thinks he doesn't have it anymore. He thinks even though the crowd is clearly not against him, that they're turning against him, or that he's in danger of that. And Solo beat him up.
Okay, that is the story. Yes, but then there's a second side quest. So
Okay.
Paul Heyman. So that's the John Cena part. So we've gotten that established. Now Paul Heyman, he told John Cena that he was the greatest of all time, but now that Roman beat him, he's not anymore. But you do have one thing, and that's the ability to connect with the crowd. You're one of the best on the mic of all time. But this is where you're making a mistake, because if you go against in the ring against Solo, he's going to hit you with the Solo with the spike, the Samoan spike, and you're not going to be able to address the crowd anymore because your larynx is going to be crushed. You're not going to be able to talk, and then you are going to be taken away from the. Or no, he said the Solo is going to take you away from the WWE universe, or the bloodline is. I don't know either way, but yes. So we're selling that if John Cena gets hit with the spike, don't worry about what happened during the segment. This is only at the match, of course. If he gets hit with the spike at the match, he's going to lose his voice and he's not going to be able to talk to the crowd anymore.
Yeah, I did kind of find that weird that you get spiked there, but after all that shit talking about how powerful the spike is, you just spiked him.
Yeah, you already gave it away. Yeah, I was thinking, well, now you can't talk. That's what they just said. But no, it only counts when it's at the match.
Yes.
Anytime other than that, it doesn't count.
LA Knight had a backstage segment where he said he was going to grab Jimmy's pigtails and ride him.
Yep, but didn't think he thought that one through.
Nope. Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander.
It was a match. You know, people enjoyed it online. It was a little bit too flippy for me. The only thing I was thinking in this segment was, is it time that they bring back the cruiserweight title? Because these are two cruiserweights, obviously. But then I was
Isn't that
like,
what the
but then like half the roster would have to be in the cruiserweight division.
isn't that what the North American title is?
No, the North American title is NXT's mid card title or Intercontinental title.
Oh, it feels like all the cruiserweights are on that.
Well, that's yeah, but yeah, they couldn't do a. And then I really went deep, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they really couldn't do a cruiserweight division because the whole roster is cruiserweight.
Oh, okay.
Because the like, yeah, pretty much the whole roster outside of like Bronson Reed, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes.
They only have a
Well,
few men, is what you're saying?
Yeah, everybody's all under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Can freaking deadlifting. You know, Bianca Belair does a deadlift, so says this graphic, of 405 pounds.
Mm.
That's the whole freaking roster outside of a couple people.
Well, Bianca Belair was there too on SmackDown. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what she said?
She didn't really say much. She said that she set up a match for Crown Jewel that was approved. She'll be facing EO at Crown Jewel for the title, 1-on-1. So we'll see what happens there. And then next week she's going to face Bailey because she's the mastermind behind this whole Damage Control group, and she wants to get revenge on all of Damage Control. Of course, not Dakota Kai because she's injured, but the other two. But Dakota Kai was also in the segment, so notes, Dakota Kai.
All right.
No, on a realistic note, there are notes about Dakota Kai because she was not wearing her knee brace. So maybe she is getting closer to healthy. Now, she said herself that she's not slated to come back until like 2024, so next year, but she's already out of the knee brace, so that's good.
I'm surprised she can still walk after Shane is done with her. That's just
I'm sure that doesn't help.
So Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight. Are you done with Bianca?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Match set up for Crown Jewel.
Cool. Knight wins with blunt force trauma. And then it was kind of weird that Solo at least didn't come out to help. But at the end of the match, Roman tried to spear Knight, but Knight turns it into a blunt force trauma. And I thought it was kind of funny. Knight was talking shit to Roman the entire time he was rolling out of the ring, like from the center of the ring to the floor. He was just talking shit to him.
Yep, and Knight gets the upper hand on the Roman Reigns.
Yep. Did he underestimate him? Probably.
Well, this may be the story that they're telling, but I think that Roman Reigns is kind of not taking this match serious. Or it almost comes off as like he's not taking this match serious. Like he already knows he's going to beat LA Knight.
Well, I would say at this point, or up until this point, probably, but after SmackDown, probably not. He's probably taking him a little bit more seriously. He just got laid out
That's true.
in public, if you
This
will.
is this is almost this is almost a I lost it. It's going to be the Rocky reference where he's not taking Mr. T seriously, then he gets his ass beat.
Yeah. Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got him out there fighting in boxing in the cold, and Rocky's doing his promotion. He's like, he's only practicing for the cameras. Oh, was that a good shot? Oh, let's do it again. And yeah, Clover Lane's out there like training, pushing cars, and really grinding at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's Rocky.
Well, it's kind of like when Brock Lesnar and The Rock. Brock Lesnar, he was training in that little makeshift gym with bricks as dumbbells, while The Rock was at the Miami University training facility.
Yeah. There's a lot of parallels to this story.
Yeah.
Now that we're seeing.
Well,
But I believe that is SmackDown.
that is SmackDown. And that brings us to Crown Jewel. Sort of.
Prediction show.
It is next week.
Well, the following predictions are so far, we'll say.
Yeah.
Card subject to change. And if we have a prediction that's not on there, that is why. Because they added something late or something changed after they've already had posted what
That's
was
true.
there.
Although I feel fairly confident that this is the set card. Watch there be like 6 more matches put in between now and and Crown Jewel. So I put these matches in order of importance, and I think it's fair. So starting off, let's. What's your take on Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio? You kind of hinted at that last week.
Yep, I think Logan Paul walks out as a new United States champion.
Okay. I think that they are going to keep it on Rey Mysterio. I think they're doing more with the LWO stuff. So, Rey Mysterio.
There you go.
All right. The next match of the evening or on the list is Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, No Definition Rodriguez, and Nia Folds. It's for the WWE Women's World Championship.
I don't think there's much of a question here. Rhea Ripley retains.
Right. It just dawned on me that she riptided Jax already. She did that at the Royal Rumble, and it was horrible. I don't want to see it. Next.
Well, there's other people in the match this time.
Yeah, but no, it's just going to be like the Royal Rumble. There's a whole bunch of people around her. She's going to do a horrible riptide. It's going to be awful. Next. McIntyre versus Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, number 3.
Ooh, I think I'm going to go with Rollins here.
Okay. I think Rollins wins as well. Whether or not he keeps his belt at the end of the night, I don't know. But I do think he beats McIntyre.
I don't think it happens in Crown Jewel.
You never know. Crown Jewel's crazy.
It is crazy.
How is LA Knight? Hold on. No. How is LA Knight gonna beat the longest modern day title reign. But Priest isn't going to cash in on Rollins?
True.
Or Drew McIntyre can't beat Rollins?
Yeah, that's true. It could happen, yes. Because weird things happen out in Saudi or wherever they are. Riyadh. Yeah, Saudi.
All right.
Isn't there a thing going on over there right now?
No, I think that's a little bit further east. I don't know. I
Okay.
have to that don't quote me on that.
I don't know much about it, but I just thought there was a thing happening there.
I don't know. I don't know how close it is.
It just shows you how caught up I am on current events.
I mean, I kind of know about the current events, but as far as the geographical locations and proximity to where a wrestling event is going to be held, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure that's for the that's for the geeks of the community to figure out.
I would assume
I'm
if it
just here
was,
to talk about the wrestling.
I would assume if it was going to be like that, they wouldn't even be going.
True.
Anyway, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest.
Well, the rumor mill says that the Money in the Bank contract may be on the line, but that is not official yet. So we're going with the assumption that it's not. And with that, uh, I'm going with Super Cody, obviously.
Okay, I'm going to go with Damian Priest. They already set up the broken ankle as is out, and that's what happened last time he lost when he lost to Brock Lesnar. I think that's what they're going to do here.
All right. But one thing we do know is there's going to be a bunch of people in Saudi at one moment in time going, "Wow!"
That is true. John Cena versus Sakoa Joe. Yeah, how's that for a throwback?
That is a throwback. And fortunately, I already say that it will be John Cena because they already made that thing about him going so however long with 2,000 days without winning a match. So they don't bring that up unless he's about to win one.
Right. And unfortunately, Solo Sikoa, the Samoan badass, loses yet another match. And the one we're really the only match of the night. LA Knight versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship.
And I teased earlier that maybe they're setting this up so that uh, Roman being off of Survivor Series, maybe they do the switch here. LA Knight walks out as champion. But I'm going with Roman Reigns.
Ah, you son of a bitch!
I had you guys, right? I had you on the hook.
Fuck you, you cocksucker. I think it's Roman Reigns as well. I think they're building up LA Knight for that big baby face pop, only to make you hate Roman even more. Because Roman, keep in mind, he is supposed to be a heel.
He is.
And it's kind of funny how he put Jimmy in the hospital. He got booed. When he beats LA Knight, they're going to fucking throw shit at him.
Because he's over.
Which, if Triple H gets people to throw shit at the wrestlers again, he should deserves Booker of the Year.
Oh, let me bringing up that thing. That's a sore subject there.
Why is that?
Booker of the Year.
Why?
Oh, this is just what the community is arguing over. Oh, who gets Booker of the Year? Who gets Booker of the Year? And
If Triple H can get fans to throw shit at people they know are playing parts in a play, easily Booker of the Year. If Tony can do that, shit. If Earl at Insane Pro, well, no, that's probably fairly easy to get those type of people to throw shit.
at TNA, if anybody can get the trash thrown.
No, I think
I
even
was
TNA,
surprised that they were doing it at WrestleMania 3 as much as they did.
it was
Those idiots.
it was a little bit more legitimate back then.
Oh no, but I didn't remember. Now this was through kid lenses, of course, but I didn't remember the trash throwing thing until um, the NWO turn for Hogan.
Yeah,
That's when I remember it being such a thing. But looking back on our pay-per-views, uh, Nikolai Volkov and
he's gotten the worst of it. Yeah,
yeah, he's getting the shit thrown at him.
Andre was getting stuff thrown at him.
Yeah, the Iron Sheik, he was getting the shit thrown at him.
Yeah.
They just didn't like non-Americans back then.
But yeah, that is our crown jewel predictions. Good stuff.
And I put our name on it. We are the most accurate prediction channel on the IWC. So go ahead and take these votes. Go and take this stuff to the bank.
We know how to handicap two men play fighting.
Get your bookies. Tell them, oh, I heard it on the show. I'm putting it all down on this one. And if you lose, don't come after us. I put my whole freaking I mortgaged or leveraged my house on this bet. That's on you, bro.
All right. Well, do you have a intro finally for a wrestling rewind?
No, I didn't have time to work on one.
Okay, this is gonna be a bit.
I know, right? You're gonna keep asking, and I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, you got the intro. Oh, I'm working on it.
I'll have one.
All right, so was it Starrcade 1995, and this is, I can't remember if I've seen a Starrcade or not, or I guess we'll find out. But this was I guess an interpromotional pay-per-view between WCW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So it was booked as the Wrestling World Cup. So there's 7 matches between a WCW opponent and a New Japan Pro Wrestling opponent.
It seems like they still didn't understand the rules because they said it was a best of 7, but it said but you're guaranteed to get 7 matches either way. So it's not a best of 7.
So Heenan, Shivani, and Dusty kick off the show. Dusty pimps Starrcade in the triple threat match. Heenan says Savage is all kinds of fucked for having injured his arm and back. And the pay-per-view is, like I said, billed as the World Cup of Wrestling and WCW versus New Japan. And yeah, this kind of made me think, Bischoff, what are you thinking?
You didn't like the concept? I actually thought it was a good concept.
Did maybe for like a Sturgis or some, this is supposed to be their WrestleMania. And I just
Well, it definitely didn't feel like their WrestleMania. I will say that.
exactly. So because the first ever WrestleMania was Ric Flair versus Harley Race, and then it was Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes and all that stuff. But here it was just you had a whole bunch of WCW people versus Japanese people you don't know.
Some of them, yeah. I mean, they were good matches. I'll give them that.
Absolutely,
But yes, the biggest pay
this
per
should have
view
been
of
a
the year should be built differently. But I
yeah
did like the concept outside of it being at Starcade.
yeah. That was my issue with it. Like as soon as I heard the concept, I don't hate it. It's just I want something grand, especially later on when they previewed Super Brawl. Like, don't tune into Super Brawl when all the stars are coming back.
Well, Hogan was suspended. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
why.
was. I
That
don't know. So you
that
can do a
plays
movie.
into well, that plays into us not watching the weekly television. We don't know why on TV why he was suspended.
It's true.
And it does seem like he should have been. I was thinking, man, Hogan would have been good for this whole uh, World Cup thing, I guess,
How's that? Oh, because the
because he's
America
like
thing.
Mr. America. Yeah. Or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He could have been in there. He's still around. But, funny thing about this whole thing, it starts out as New Japan versus WCW. And then by the end of the night, it's USA versus Japan. Like somehow it switched into USA versus Japan.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be WCW as it started out in the night.
Well, yeah. Especially when Alex Riley, or not Alex Riley, Alex Wright, Mr.
Who's not
Berlin,
American.
yeah, comes out with his American shirt or his American flag shirt on,
Yeah.
dancing to "Born in the USA."
Yeah, a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they switched it so seamlessly. It's like they forgot the original thing.
No, I think that was the plan all along.
Oh.
Because it felt like they burnt. Because Eddie Guerrero was the second match, and he was like, "This is for America."
But it was supposed to be for WCW.
I know.
Like even Heenan and Shivani, and they're talking to each other. He's like, "Are you going for them?" Shivani was telling him, "Are you going for them?" Last time I checked, your check still said WCW on it.
Yeah,
So
like
it really started off as WCW versus New Japan.
yeah. Well, he didn't seem like he got the concept.
Yeah.
But, well, the first match of the evening was Chris Benoit versus Jushin Thunder Liger. And Benoit has joined the Horsemen by this point. And it was so cool hearing Dusty and Heenan do commentary.
Yeah. Dusty with his Texas charm
It's,
or Southern charm.
he got my rickamashaw. And
Yeah.
I was filibustering.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was saying half the night.
Yeah, right?
But it was entertaining.
Well, the crowd was very anti-Liger. And Benoit was really fun to watch. And like the way he would do little things, like a simple kick was just great. Sullivan came out. He acts like he's going to the ring, but then Jimmy Hart holds him back, and then Jushin hits the worst Frankenstein I've ever seen for the win.
It was super botched,
Yeah,
but
that was the only bad spot of the match, I think.
it was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
I said a few weeks ago I wasn't going to watch Benoit matches, but I did also mention that this one was coming up, so I knew
Yep.
I was going to have to watch it. So,
Oh, there's gonna be more too.
but this ties into, remember during this SmackDown review. If you want to go watch SmackDown review, it's on our channel. Don't worry about it. And then, so I was saying they should bring back the cruiserweight division. This went into it. This was like a cruiserweight special,
Yeah.
but WCW is about to be all cruiserweight, so that's gonna be okay.
Just about, except for the main event.
Yeah,
Well, after that, we have Eddie Guerrero backstage, and Eddie is about as white meat as you can be right now. He's even got his little pencil thin mustache. He's got his mullet and his little Evil Knievel jumpsuit thing.
yeah, he has his mullet, but it's not over the top yet.
No, no, no.
It's a tame mullet.
He's got some time to go.
Yeah,
And he said he's proud to be in one of the 7 matches, and he respects his opponent. And it's kind of cool that they let him talk, I thought. I feel like a lot of promos like in this era seem to be cut short, but letting him talk a little bit was kind of neat to see. Especially, since he's no longer with us.
right.
And yep, New Japan is up 1. So the next match of the evening is Koji Kanemoto versus Alex Wright. I thought it was a fun match to watch. Alex Wright does like the best standing head scissors I've ever seen.
Yeah, again, this was just another good match.
Yeah. I
Uh,
liked how arrogant Kanemoto was.
yeah, and he hit one of my favorite suplexes. He hit a dragon suplex with a
Yeah.
bridge. That's one of my favorites. That one, and then the tiger suplex, or I'm sorry, the full Nelson suplex. I like
Mm-hmm.
those two. When you hold the
Yeah.
bridge too,
Yep.
you don't see those nowadays.
You see the suplex, but not the bridge.
Yeah,
Well, Kanemoto, he snake eyes right into the turnbuckle, and then he rolls him up for the win. So New Japan is 2, WCW is 0.
can WCW come back from this?
I don't know.
But as Heenan said, but that's okay because we got our aces come. Or was it? Well, it was Heenan, even though he was Team Japan at this point. I mean, Team New Japan Wrestling, not just Japan. And he said, we got our aces coming up. And boy, did they.
Yeah. So Mean Gene's backstage again, or still, and he's interviewing Sonny Ono, but after he promotes the WCW hotline, of course.
Talking about a major signing or something. Someone's getting a major deal, is what he said. Call the hotline to find out who that is.
So Ono says soon it'll be 5-0. And Okerlund says if WCW gets to 0-4, then we're closing up shop. It's not even worth going to the 5th match. Ono says, well, if that happens, maybe he'll buy WCW and Iowa. Okerlund says WCW isn't for sale. And Ono says everything's for sale in America. And Ono alludes to having people in the Dungeon of Doom. I guess a spy of some sort.
But I don't know, but he was out there for pretty much the whole show.
Yeah. I just don't know why you would want to buy Iowa.
because he
Not to
can.
get into a thing, but do you ever see like the most foreign motherfucker? Well, you're where you are. You're in a more popular, but where I am, I'm in buttfuck Egypt, right? So I see the
Mhm.
most foreign motherfuckers. I'm like, how the fuck do you get from the most exotic lands to this shithole? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are some stories to be had. Like, how do you get here?
Right. Like I get why you're here overall, but how do you get here specifically?
Yeah.
How do you get out? No. So the next match is Lex Luger with Jimmy Hart, and he is wrestling Masahiro Chono. And this is all right. Just a match.
Didn't live
Luger,
up to the first two.
no. I like Luger. I'm starting to really buy into Luger, but this was not his best performance. I do one thing I like about Luger is you know how traditionally they'll lock up and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Luger will like kind of sidestep it into a kick, which is kind of unique, at least for what we're watching.
Yeah.
So I like that
And he
about him.
also does or I noticed now he's integrated his chest tip jump thing.
Yes, yes,
So now he was doing it like the whole little backstage segment, he's pumping his tits.
yeah. So Luger won this match with the torture rack. The best part of the match was the commentary. Especially when Dusty and Heenan were shitting on Tony for knowing what the mafia kick was. Like Tony said, "Oh, there's that mafia kick," and Dusty says, "Where do you get all this? German suplex, mafia kick?" He kicked him in the with the bottom of a 12 and a half, right in the middle of the mush. Ain't got nothing to do with the mafia. Hell, what you talking about? And Bobby's like, Tony, he kicked the man in the head. And Dusty said he caught him with the Sicilian elbow. And Bobby says, right around the Yugoslavian neckbreaker. He kicked the man in the head, Shivani. He kicked his Bosnian butt. I just thought that was funny. So it's New Japan 2 and WCW is 1. So they're coming back. And
Yep, they needed Luger.
yes. And we're backstage with Mean Gene again. And he's with Sting. And Sting is glad WCW finally won. And he's rooting for Johnny B. Bad. And Mean Gene's like, "Oh, I want to talk about your match." No. Just Johnny B. Bad's gonna be great. He's awesome. Fuck me. Johnny B. Bad's the match you want to see. So Mean Gene, he brings up Sting's match with Kensuke Sasaki for the U.S. title, and Sting lost. And Sting goes, "Whoa!" And Mean Gene ignores that and continues talking. And Sting, to his credit, he ignores Mean Gene and he goes, "Wow!" Just very out of place. I thought it was funny. And then Sting shouts that the title isn't up for grabs tonight, but pride is. American pride.
And there we go. We have switched from New Japan versus WCW to now straight up.
I added the American pride part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got it too, but
yeah. Sonny Ono is buying WCW over his dead body. And then Mean Gene brings up the triple threat match that he inexplicably is wrestling after this match.
a triangle match.
Yeah. I'm gonna say triple threat match.
This. Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm programmed. Vince programmed me. What am I saying? Gene also wonders about Sting's relationship with Luger. because they're friends, and Luger, Sting, and Ric Flair are having their triangle match. See, I guess I can adjust their triangle match. And Sting says, "Yeah, Luger and I are friends, and Macho and I are working on it." Well, last week got a little heated. We find out later that one of them socked the other. I'd say that's a little bit more than heated.
Yeah, Sting was teasing going heel, I guess.
Yeah. And Sting says, "I love you, Luger, but you said you gotta do what you gotta do, so do I." And Sting says, "Flair, I'll never forgive you for what you did to me." And Sting says he wants Macho Man so bad he can taste him. So he wants to snap into Randy's Slim Jim, I take it.
Uh-huh.
I was, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know how to describe what a Slim Jim tastes like. Oh. But
They're back.
I bet Randy tastes like that. All right. Johnny B. Bad with the Diamond Doll.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, sure.
I forgot to mention something in the last segment. I want to go back real quick.
Yeah.
There's just a little note here. So during the Luger match, there was this dude with, and I got another person that we'll call out later. So there's this dude. He was wearing a Lions Barry Sanders jersey, and I just thought that was funny that here we are, 1995. Barry Sanders on the Lions. They were good then, and then fast forward to 2023, and the Lions are good once again. So I just thought that was funny.
I thought they weren't good anymore because they lost a game.
Well, they did lose one game, and it was a pretty bad loss. But I think they're still revered as one of the better teams in the league still.
Okay.
Now, if they lose this week, now, saying there goes the Lions. Same old Lions, as they will say.
The
But
same with Baker Mayfield. He lost a couple games, so he's not a savior anymore.
yeah, no more saving his career, resurgence, all that stuff.
Yeah. Kind of like when he went to LA and had that one good game, and that's it.
Yeah. He does just enough to show you he's a fraud. Funny thing is, someone actually watched our Baker Mayfield video recently. So that's funny.
Probably Baker.
Let me see the downfall of my career. I was like, oh. I was looking at our analytics. I'm like, oh, look at there. Someone is watching the Baker Mayfield video. What a weird thing to say.
Well, at least that means it's timeless, I guess. At least until he retires.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I was like, I don't even remember what the video was about, to be honest. It was something about his downfall. Oh, and someone watched our Lana OnlyFans video. So
nice.
People are watching our old stuff.
Probably Lana.
And just another thing. I watched that video because I was like, oh, I wonder what are they picking up out of that? And we were still doing the Madden simulator during our show. So there's a little throwback there.
Yeah. Those were the days. Those are primitive primitive days.
Yeah. Just picking two teams and let it simulate through.
Yeah.
Yep. We're still doing that.
Because that matches what we're talking about, sort of. At least half of it.
Yeah. It was relevant to the teams.
Oh, then we started streaming the game, the wrestling game.
Yeah. After we stopped football, we said, well, now let's stream the wrestling matches.
Although we got one view on a football thing, we might have to Switch topics. Rebrand.
We're going back again.
All right. So, anything else on Luger?
No, I just wanted to call out that dude was wearing a Lions thing, and he was a fanatic or a fan of the Lions, and it just so happens that they're good again. Just coincidence, I guess.
Well, the next match is Johnny B. Bad versus Diamond Doll versus Saito. And the Diamond Doll did a cartwheel, and Johnny B. Bad is back with not one, but 2 confetti cannons. And then when they're in the ring, the Diamond Doll does another cartwheel. It's like the only thing she knows how to do.
Yeah, she's like full on cheerleader.
Yeah. So Diamond Doll, she grabs a confetti cannon, and for some reason this excites the shit out of the crowd. And they actually grab the confetti out of the air. Like it's I don't know.
Squirting on everybody.
Like, oh, give it to me.
Yeah.
Prior to the match, Sonny Ono, he grabs the mic and says to Nick Patrick, "What is that woman doing here? She should be at home cooking. That's what's wrong with this country. Woman like her." Diamond Doll, not to be deterred, she grabs a microphone and she treats us to her mic work. "Listen here a minute, Hop Sing." Then she turns to the crowd like, "I got him good. This ain't no Japanese bathhouse." And as she said that, she's doing this little ghetto point while looking at the crowd. She's looking at the crowd the whole time. She's not looking
Yeah,
at.
she's really playing up to the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like she was, yeah. My lines, she might as well just turned and stood in front of the crowd and just like left to the side.
Right. "I ain't no geisha girl." And still mugging. "And if this sport is just for men, there's one thing I want to know. What are you doing here?" Then she stomps over to Ono and hands the microphone to him. And he beside himself. And she thought she delivered just the sickest burn ever. And Sonny Ono, he turns to Johnny B. Bad and says, "Control your woman. We do." And then Johnny B. Bad actually high fives Diamond Doll.
Like, you got him good.
Yeah.
And it's funny that they do this and there was no women's match on this card.
Right.
And they're
Well,
openly saying, yeah, they're openly saying, oh, well, you know, it's women's wrestling. We don't need that.
yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't see the women's wrestling. Wasn't Sonny Ono? Did Sonny Ono come out with Bull Nakano?
I don't remember.
Okay.
That was too long ago. Sorry.
Yeah, I get it. I'm surprised I remember that match. Well, no, it was the best match on the card, but so Johnny B. Bad and Saito have the match, and Saito is fucking badass. He looks like a bulldog. He's got that lazy Japanese face.
Yeah, it didn't look like Johnny B. Bad had any business beating this guy.
Right. He shouldn't have.
He looked like, yeah, he was it.
Especially like when it, because he had that same like, I don't know, dead expression on his face the whole match, but when he would get fired up or change it, it would just be so menacing. And yeah, I wanted to see him win. Actually, I was rooting for him.
Yeah, it seemed like this guy was just like, one of those extra gritty. He's wrestling in like a meat locker.
Yeah. Well, it was funny
in
because
front of 5 people.
there was one point where he just smacked the shit out of Johnny B. Bad, and so he does it back, and then they just start smacking the shit out of each other, and it looked like they legitimately got into a fight.
A slap fight.
Yeah. Well, no, they were slapping each other in the face and stuff.
Japanese strong style. Yeah, I can't back down now.
But then Saito got him in that a headlock and did a little fake nose punch thing. So that's kind of when it broke it for me. Sonny Ono, he chokes Johnny B. Bad on the bottom rope. The crowd tells Diamond Doll to get off her pretty ass and do something, which I thought was kind of funny. She's just standing there like, oh, come on, Hop Sing. You can't choke him. Just probably sitting down, eating a hot dog. And the crowd said, get off your ass, bitch, and help him. What are you doing?
And then she just goes over there.
Yeah, that's it. She didn't do anything. She just walked over. He's
Yeah.
like, this isn't part of the script. I don't know what to do.
She just wanted to get a close up view of him getting us getting a cheap shot.
Yeah. So Ono grabs Johnny B. Bad. And then Saito hits Bad from behind. Then Ono drags Bad over the top rope for a DQ. And I was very confused. Because why would Sonny Ono drag the dude over the top rope if it's going to be a disqualification? So good match, shitty finish. And I know it's all America and stuff, but Saito should have won.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's no reason Johnny B. Bad should have won this, but
Yep.
I get it. You can't go down 3-1.
That's true. I mean, yeah. Just don't have the match.
Well, also, Bad was the champion, so I noticed that they protected their champions and not one of the champions lost.
Yeah.
So there was that.
All right. Well, Mean Gene's backstage with Lex Luger and Jimmy Hart. And Okerlund says, hey, it's tied up. And Hart says, Sullivan cost America. And he's got a short fuse. And the Horsemen are in trouble. Luger is flexing and jiggling his titties the entire time.
Yes, he was.
Gene asks Luger about the triangle match. And Luger says, that's what WCW's about. The moment has arrived. Luger, Flair, and Sting are synonymous with superiority. Luger starts talking shit about Macho Man. Says he owns him. Says he's pathetic. He's a one-armed champion. And he would have torn his arm right off if it wasn't for Sting, his good old buddy. Luger says he has to do it without Jimmy Hart. He wants to do it alone. Hart's like, hey, I'm here for the long run. Don't fuck me here. As soon as you're champion, we're both on top. I'm your manager. Luger says he has unfinished business with Flair. And if he gets into it with Sting, may the best man win. Then the next match is Shinjiro Otani versus Eddie Guerrero. And this was a damn good match. Probably the match of the night. And Dusty said Eddie Guerrero is pound for pound the greatest wrestler in the world right now, which is saying a lot at this point of his career, from Dusty Rhodes to what he actually became. It's pretty phenomenal, to all things considered.
Yeah, we were watching him grow there.
Eddie's little springboard somersault thing, I thought was a thing of beauty. I remember spamming the shit out of it on the N64 games.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't really they couldn't really counter it.
Right.
So I was like, oh, keep doing it.
And we even saw that his Razor's Edge power bomb.
Yeah.
What we didn't see though is his frog splash. Instead, Eddie tried to do Rey Mysterio's Frankensteiner pin thing, but Otani rolls through it and pins Eddie. Eddie counters that into another pin, but Otani counters that into another pin, and that's enough for the win. And it's worth noting that before this, Otani missile drop kicked Eddie in the back of the head, and it was brutal.
It was brutal. It was a thing of beauty too.
Yes.
And then there was
So,
one point where Eddie did that like over the rope senton thing onto the concrete.
yep.
Like there's some good spots in this match. Yes, I agree. It's probably match of the night.
And that's New Japan 3, WCW 2. Mean Gene's still backstage, and this time he's with Macho Man. And he tells Macho Man that it's up to you, then it's up to Sting, hopefully. Gene tries to bring up the triangle match, and Macho Man doesn't want to hear any of that. Because America is down, and the pressure's all on him. Then hopefully the pressure will be all on Sting. Macho Man says he doesn't mind being the underdog and praises Luger for his victory. Then Macho Man shouts, "To infinity and beyond!" and break on through to the other side. Out of nowhere, like he has Tourette's. Then he says, "Tenzan, you can't understand what I'm saying, but I'm coming to get you. Yeah." Gene brings up Hogan, who we learn is suspended, and then, yeah. Brings us to Randy Savage versus Hiroyoshi Tenzan.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Macho Man gets his ass kicked throughout the whole match, and the way he sold it made me feel every single bit of it. Just the look of agony on his face, the way he'd kind of curl up, and yeah. There's one part he even like hugged onto his leg, like, please.
Was this the guy? One of the guys were doing like karate chops, but he was like, doing like things before the karate chop, like rolling and then chop. Was this the guy, or was it one of the other guys?
I don't know.
Like he'd like move his hands to the side, move his hands to the other side, and then chop. And then
Probably.
like he kept doing it before every move he'd just do something with his hands and then chop. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
So Macho Man, he takes advantage of a missed moonsault to knock Tenzan into the apron. Macho Man tries to suplex him back into the ring, but can't because of his bad arm. So he ends up kind of dumping him on the top rope. And then Macho Man uses that as an opportunity to hit his elbow drop for the win. That means it's New Japan 3, WCW 3.
Yep, America's tied it up.
USA, USA. Oh.
Who was not on the team.
Was not. I don't understand why. Alex Wright is, but not Hacksaw.
Yeah.
So Mean Gene's backstage again. He takes another opportunity to pimp the hotline. And then he says it's a 3-for-all in the tournament. Or I'm sorry, 3-all in the tournament. And then he brings in Ric Flair. And Ric Flair is the opposite of Macho Man. Macho Man was all about America's down. We need to all be a team. Yeah, Lex Luger and I, we're wrestling later, but we're all on Team America. We need to get this World Cup. Ric Flair's like, you know what? Fuck that. This is for the world heavyweight championship. Me and Luger. Yeah, your little America versus Japan tournament's cute and all. But what the real match is this triangle match. And then after that, whoever faces Randy Savage, who inexplicably is wrestling again later on tonight. The dude has an injured arm and an injured back, and they have him wrestling twice.
Yes. But I see WCW keeps doing this during their pay-per-views. They have like Sting and Luger and Macho Man, some sort of the combination, all wrestling multiple times throughout the night on
Yeah,
their
playing
pay-per-view.
both ways. Yeah. This is weird.
Yeah.
So Sting and Luger are facing Flair, and he's fresh as a daisy, is what Rick says. And then Flair says he's going to win the title and have all the bitches.
And this was a little bit more Ric Flair that we all remember.
Yep.
Like he kept doing the woo while Mean Gene was trying to throw it back to the crew, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa!" Styling and profiling, he's strutting. All's happening. So this is where we need.
And up to this point, he's been pretty popular. He's been one of the most popular people on the show.
Yeah.
Or not up to this point, just every pay-per-view we've seen him in. Anyway.
Yeah, he's one of the aces. So right early WCW, we're building around Luger, Hogan, Sting, Macho Man, Ric Flair. Those are like the 5 top guys right now.
Yep. And you can see the people they're trying to build around, like the Eddie Guerreros and the Alex Wrights.
Yeah.
And you can see that they're even trying to push some international people.
They are, yeah.
So our next match is Sting versus Kensuke Sasaki. And Sting comes out with an American flag like Duggan, who's not on the team. Sting wins with a Scorpion Deathlock. And I thought it was pretty meh. But Sting's not my favorite, so I'm kind of biased. WCW comes out to celebrate America. Alex Wright and Chris Benoit with America shirts on was funny. And Mean Gene presents the Wrestling World Cup and hopes this clusterfuck becomes a Starrcade tradition.
Well, like I said earlier, good concept. I like the idea of it. Just not at Starrcade if that's supposed to be your WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like I got more of a feel like Super Brawl was going to be a bigger thing than Starrcade.
Yeah. Well, the World Cup is over, and it's like Starrcade now officially begins because we have Lex Luger versus Ric Flair versus Sting, and they did a whole like little video package and a build up and everything. But for some reason, this shit is a tag match.
Yeah, it was pretty much a handicap match against Ric Flair at the beginning.
Yeah, and I like how Flair kept fucking with whoever was in the corner to the point where they would try to get to him.
Yeah, and then the ref would be like, "You gotta stay on the ring." Like, no, I don't. It's just, we're supposed to all be in the ring.
Yeah. Well, Flair would use the distraction as a opportunity to like hit him in the balls or something.
Yeah, at one point he hits Luger with a chair.
Yeah.
Or, was it Luger or Sting? Either way,
one of
he
them
hit someone with a chair off of the distraction because, yeah. because the legal man was trying to get in the ring, which he shouldn't have been illegal because it was a triangle match.
That's true. Flair tags in Sting so he can face Luger. Sting and Luger shake hands, and the fans boo it. Both guys beat the fuck out of each other. Sting goes for his Scorpion Deathlock, but Luger grabs the ropes. Luger elbows Sting in the nuts, then hits an atomic drop. Luger hits Sting in the torture rack. And he does that thing where he turns around and bumps the ref, which we're going to see a lot of, by the way.
I'm
That
sure.
bump, that ref bump, we're going to see a lot of.
Yes.
Flair does his NFL chop to Luger, which always seems weird that you would do that while you're holding another person.
Oh yeah, when he's in the torture rack, he
Yeah.
chop blocks.
Yeah. So Flair tosses Sting outside the ring, and it's on to Luger. I guess Luger rolled out of the ring. Did he roll out of the ring?
Well, yeah, because he got the chop block. Well,
Okay, so he
Sting
rolled out
was
of
in
the
the
ring,
torture rack.
and then Flair threw Sting onto Luger. And then Flair wakes up the ref to count Luger and Sting out. And Sting could have made it, but Luger grabbed his arm for some reason.
Yes.
And then Sting and Luger just pouted each other. And then Jimmy Hart hooks his wagon to the Flair train.
Yeah, because he's about to.
Because he's a whore.
He's about to be in the main event.
Yeah. And main event it is. Ric Flair versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ric Flair's still in the ring. Didn't even leave the ring from
Yeah.
the previous match. So that's how fast this happens.
Right. Bruce Buffer gives a hell of a match introduction. And Paul Orndorff comes out with a neck brace to watch. The Horseman tried to kill Paul Orndorff. And eventually the security tells him to leave. So I don't know why he came out. And I'm guess future Monday Night Raws will explain that. Or Nitros.
They mentioned it, I think. Yeah, one of the horsemen did something with.
He got pile drived and it broke his neck. I'm sure something will come up of it, but I don't know if we'll actually see it. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't see it. That seems like a TV payoff.
Right. Flair gets hit with Hart's megaphone and starts bleeding. That's the Flair I remember.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
The funny thing is, I was just thinking, where's the bloody Flair? You know, he used to bleed at everything.
Right.
And then, oh, there it is. And boy, was he bleeding.
Yes, he was. Macho Man hits the elbow drop, but Jimmy Hart is like literally trying to climb over the referee. So he's in no position to count it. And then the Horsemen come out. Macho Man throws Pillman onto Benoit. And then Anderson nails Macho Man with brass knucks or a roll of quarters or something.
Yes. And meanwhile, Jimmy Hart is still distracting the referee during all this.
Yeah.
So it's not a bump. The referee is still conscious. He's just arguing with Jimmy Hart this whole time.
And Ric Flair gets the pin. And because Ric Flair bled too much, he can't do an interview.
Yes, because he is really bleeding.
And that was Starrcade.
Which turned out to be a pretty good. It was a good pay-per-view. Again, the concept of the whole thing was good. Just if this is supposed to be your main attraction, the biggest show of your company, it should just be more, story payoffs is what we should be getting here.
I think this is the worst pay-per-view we've seen so far.
Okay.
But I'm sure we'll see worse. When it's all said and done, this might be one of the better ones in comparison to some of the shit we're gonna have to trudge through.
Yeah, I know there's some infamous the finger poke one.
David Arquette,
Yes.
Vince Russo.
Yeah. But that's I think that gets towards the end of WCW anyway, so
It's still there. But
like we're gonna find out why they went out of business. We're gonna get to view it all.
yep.
It's like, yep, I can see now why WC or WWF started to win.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting really bad. I can't even remember what made me stop watching it.
I would say
But
probably around the yeah when it got too far off the rails and just like the whole company revolved around NWO.
that was a little extreme.
Like every person on the roster was part of the NWO storyline.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Starcade 95. Our next pay-per-view is WrestleMania 4, right?
Yes, next up we got WrestleMania number 4. And then the following week we at WCW we got Super Brawl 96.
And I think WrestleMania 4 is a rematch of Hogan and Andre.
Oh, great. How are they going to top that one?
So the once in a lifetime match happened again. Kind of
Yeah,
like
they're trying to recapture lightning in a bottle here.
Rock and John Cena.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're trying to recapture lightning in a bottle, I guess. Probably not going to be such a good pay per view, but I know nothing about WrestleMania 4, so there you go.
Well, let's take a look at the card real quick. Bear with me. Stall for time. Come on, Tyson.
Oh, that's going to do it for our retro review. Tune in next week
No,
for
don't close out. I'm looking looking for more information.
No, I'm closing out the segment of the
Oh.
retro review.
Oh, my bad. Okay, thanks for stalling. Bad News Brown. There's a battle royal. Ted DiBiase versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo. Valentine versus Steamboat. Savage versus Butch Reed. That'll be good. One Man Gang versus Bam Bam. Bigelow.
Oh, some meat slapping is about to happen there.
Yep. Jake Roberts versus Rick Rude.
Okay.
Ultimate Warrior in his WrestleMania debut
Oh, I'm in. I'm invested.
versus Hercules.
I am invested.
Oh man, it says it's a 4-minute and 29-second match.
Oh, that's way too long.
I know.
He's playing around with him.
Something must have happened. Hogan versus Andre.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, because the last WrestleMania was like 4 hours long.
Well, hold on. Hogan versus Andre. Oh, it's a tournament. Okay, so Ted DiBiase versus Don Morocco. Savage versus Valentine. Beefcake versus Honky Tonk. The Islanders versus the British Bulldogs. Savage versus One Man Gang.
Well, you're not giving away the spoilers, are you here?
Nope. Yeah.
But you said he was. You said he was facing Bam Bam.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get the gist.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some good matches.
I'm excited to see the Ultimate Warrior debut.
Well, we'll see if this
Him
tournament's
versus
any better than the the New Japan and WCW tournament. I don't know how I feel about these tournaments and pay-per-views. I kind of feel like a tournament should be like through the TV and the pay-per-view should be the conclusion of the tournament.
Mm, I mean, I like the King of the Ring. See, that's what you do. You set the pay per view as the tournament. You don't do your biggest show of the year and have a tournament on it.
Yeah, that too. Although I felt like they did qualifier matches on Raw, and then King of the Ring would be
Yeah, King of the Ring was all within the one night. Well, early it was, and then later they started to just do like the finals, and then they just got rid of it altogether, or the semifinals. But you don't get the Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 promo without him going through everybody in the same night.
right.
Get that piece of crap out of my ring, Jake the Snake. Oh, we're not going to be able to watch that because we don't watch anything other than WrestleManias right now. Anyway,
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm sure.
we're just going to watch all the retro stuff. This week we're going to do Bad Blood 1997.
That's where we're gonna go. You keep fighting it.
The debut of Kane in Bad Blood 1997, or was it 98? Whichever one it was. Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
It was good shit.
That's gotta be Kane. But yes, join us next week for more retro stuff and more wrestling modern stuff. We got the pay per view next week of Crown Jewel, and we will see where it goes. And we are on the road to WrestleMania modern
Woo, woo.
and also WrestleMania classics. I don't have much actually for news. This was pretty slow news week. But WWE did announce that there's a bash at the. They announced. Uh, Hold on, let me get the official name. There's a new paper that's coming in August. WWE did announce it. So looking for the name here. It is going to be in Germany, and still looking for the name. God dang it! Where's the name? I thought I had it saved.
I
Maybe
remember reading the Germany part. I don't remember a different name. Isn't like SummerSlam next year going to be in Cleveland? Or they were talking about that?
it
Okay.
is. Yeah, that's the rumor. Something in I think it's Bash in Berlin or something. I don't know. We'll workshop that. No, I gotta get it. Hold on. We'll edit this out. So for the
You think
clip,
I'm just you think I'm just going to edit stuff
talking about for
willy
the clip,
nilly
no one's gonna
for
make it.
you?
No one's gonna make it this far. Oh,
Bash in Berlin. You were right.
there you go. I doubted myself. So they got Bash in Berlin that is taking place in August. If that doesn't tell you Gunther's going to be champion, I don't know what else is. That takes, yeah, like how they're not going to have Gunther as champion going into that event.
Well, at least be IC champion.
Now, I mean, he's going to be the world's heavyweight champion. Um, a lot of people online they started to do the, oh well, let's get Ilya Dragunov. By the way, the pay per view is in August, so by now to August, let's get Ilya Dragunov and Gunther as the main events at that pay per view. So we have on TV built him up enough to take on Gunther at the Bash at the Berlin for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, they had a good NXT match. So if you want to have a good match, then yeah, but if it makes sense only. If you're just gonna have the match to have the match, I don't know.
Yeah, that sort of seems. I mean, I I definitely am a Dragunov fan. I would say he's probably NXT's best, by far best wrestler. So I guess you can make it believable, but to him, to have him on the roster from between now and August and already be competing for a title is a little rushed.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I get it. You want to, it's this pay per view that's going on over there, so we want to put on the best foot. Okay, well, you got Sheamus, you got Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, they have. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, they could do Gunther and Ilya for the IC belt. I think you could build them up for that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's true.
not the big dog though.
But yeah, we shall see. But yeah, as far as news, that was pretty much. There was other things, but I don't think they're our style of news.
All right.
The other news was talking about like stocks and stuff,
Oh
WWE
yeah,
stocks, and
who gives a shit?
yeah, and yeah. So we don't need to talk about all that. But on that note, if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 500. Let's try to get there by the end of the year. And was there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And until next time, top guys. By the way, Twitch, thank you for tuning in. I saw we had up to like 2 viewers there. YouTube, thank you for tuning in. We had another 2 viewers there. So, and maybe they were just me. But on that note, top guys,